shepherds, welcome back, and if you're new here, hello! This is where we talk all things sheepy. Today I'm going to show you how to make 3 different creamers. Each of these are going to be increased in tastiness, complexity, and fun. First off, let's make our creamer base. This is the simplest creamer on our list, and so satisfying. Before settling on this creamer recipe, I used to simply reserve some cream to add to my morning coffee or tea, but it really felt lacking. I really wanted that coffee shop feeling, and here's one of those secrets I found. So for our recipe, we need our sweetened condensed milk. I'm using our sheep-based sweetened condensed milk that I showed you how to make last week. I'll have the links in the description as well as in the recipe. If you don't have sheepy sweetened condensed milk, grab your nearest dairy creature and get started milking. Or store-bought works well too. So for our recipe, we need sweetened condensed milk, some vanilla extract, sheep's milk, or any milk you have on hand is good as well, and a pan. I'm using about half a cup of sweetened condensed milk and around 2 cups of milk. I'm heating up the mix on low, and I'm really interested in melting those sweetened condensed milk flavors and regular sheep milk into one harmonious flavor. Next up, we need around 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Guys, I love the taste of vanilla, but when in doubt, always start with less because you can always add more later. So in our pan, we're going to add around 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. We can take it off our heat and add our vanilla in and give it a good stir. I don't use corn syrup or stabilizers, so after some time in the fridge, this sweetened condensed milk sweet cream type of creamer can separate out in layers of like the heavy cream rising to the top. It's perfectly normal, and it helps to give it a good shake prior to pouring. So back to this step. I like using mason jars mainly because they're easy to clean and sterilize, but whatever clean jar you have on hand works really well. So let's assemble our coffee. I'm using instant coffee. It's an Aldi's brand, but any of your favorite coffees and also teas work really well with this creamer. I'm topping off my coffee quickly with a whipped sheep-based cream that I skimmed off the milk earlier. This is really fun and simple, as well as a versatile creamer. I can really taste the hints of vanilla in it, and the layers of sheep's milk cream, and sheepy sweetened condensed milk creamer really makes this coffee so full-bodied. It's sweet, but not too sweet. So what if you want to spice it up, you ask? Our next creamer takes our last creamer up a notch. For this, I like to make my ingredients in small batches, so when I need it later, I can simply grab what I need, pop them together, and we're good to go. So for this recipe, we'll need a caramel sauce base. I prefer to make my own, and let me show you how. If you have a favorite caramel sauce in hand, I've included timestamps so you can jump ahead. But for now, for the caramel sauce, we'll need sugar, salt, butter. I'm using my sheep's sweet cream butter, as well as some more milk. In a large heavy bottom saucepan over medium heat, we're going to add our sugar, whisking it often to melt our sugar up. It'll clump up prior to melting. That's normal. And because this all happens really fast where nothing is happening and all is in everything at once, it really helps to have everything you need pre-portioned out and ready to pop in at that moment's notice. Once the sugar is melted, you can really help to swirl the pan to prevent crystals from forming. I'm using this for my creamer, so I'm not going to worry about refinement for now. So now that our sugar is beautifully melted, we want to add our butter in. You can see how much buttermilk is left in the butter because of that sizzle. It'll foam up a lot, so this is why it really helps to use a bigger pan than you may initially think. I'm going to go ahead and give this a few more stirs and really get this in there. I love the sound of all this sizzling. Once the butter's melted, let's take the pan off the heat and let's toss in our milk and whisk until smoothish. Don't forget to add a pinch of salt and stir in our vanilla extract if you're using some. And go ahead and stir that in. And then let's cool our caramel a bit, as it's a little too hot to pour and handle. You can see some of the milk solids caramelizing, and that's okay. If it bothers you, simply filter or strain out the caramelized bits with a tea strainer or a milk strainer. This strainer I got from Caprine Supply more than like 10 years ago. They should still be available. It's a basic milk filter with a stainless steel mesh. We can add this caramel as is into our creamer base or we can cool it down further and reserve just a tad to use as a garnish for our morning drinks. If your creamer is chilled, it really helps to warm it up a bit to better get all those ingredients to meld together. So let's go ahead and just give it a good shake and it's good to go. So let's go ahead and assemble our coffee. I'm using an instant coffee and I'm just pouring enough creamer to taste. But for a fun touch, you might really enjoy adding a topping of fresh whipped cream or froth milk foam. With such a hot coffee though, the milk foam tends to break down faster. It's still fun, and this alone is still a super fun coffee. It has great body. If you ever taste something that has, say, round flavors versus, say, like the sharpness of acids, this is a very round, full-bodied coffee. Also, when using sheep's cream, this style whipping cream is best used the same day or next day. I really prefer stabilized whipped cream for the longer storage, but for this morning, to make this really quick for the whipped cream, I really like to just add a few drops of vanilla and use some powdered sugar to sweeten it. Not a lot because we already have our creamer sweetened with the sweetened condensed milk. Whip it up until it's nice and foamy. Sometimes stiff is nice as well. I just like to whip it up just enough to where it feels good. I want it stiff but not butter. Using either a frother, a stick blender, or even a mixer works. I love how the sheep's milk and cream adds so much body to this coffee as well. And the caramel sauce is such a fun touch. Lastly, for our chocolate lovers, we have our mocha creamer. Full disclosure, I am a vanilla person living in a chocolate household. So when I'm making this creamer, I love to take it up to the fullest potential. For our creamer, we're going to need our base, and not just any cocoa powder, but this lovely super dark chocolate cocoa powder. I'm using unsweetened black cocoa powder, but any of your favorite cocoa powders will work. I'm using about 2 to 3 tablespoons and added a touch about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and pop it all into our jar and just give it a good shake. If I notice that some of the powder is just flowing on the surface, I just shake it a little bit more until it mixes in well. So let's go ahead and make our coffee. I'm topping off this coffee with some freshly whipped sheep's cream, dust with some more cocoa powder. And for a lovely touch, I thought it might be nice to quickly chop some of these little bits of chocolate and dust it on top of our coffee. To store these creamers, my general thumb is to make a batch big enough to last just a week or two. Mileage varies based on your quality of milk handling or whatever your milk source says. It helps to keep an eye on it and make sure it hasn't developed sentience though. Well, I'm super caffeinated up right now. I have my favorites, but how about you? Which dairy creature did you end up enlisting for your help in your creamer endeavor? If you made it this far, an extra special thank you. I appreciate you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss a sheepy take. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-tas!